Okay, so there was like kind of these random battles proposed, and one of them happened to actually stick, and that was Lord Boros from One Punch Man versus Might Guy. Now, I can see some appeal of this battle. It would be a glorious brawl to watch on screen in terms of just the visuals. So I definitely get that. Might Guy, of course, being the famous shinobi from Naruto and the user of the Eight Gates. And then Lord Boros, the leader of the Dark Matter and an invader of Earth from One Punch Man. Who would win if these two titans clashed? So real quick, before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, check out the video description to see how you can help the channel, and check out other content creators similar to me in the coffee shop. And yeah, make sure you got the notification bell on so you don't miss anything. But let's get back into it. This is going to be a straight up versus battle. I will be reviewing Lord Boros and his few showings from the manga as well as the guidebook. And I will talk about what Might Guy brings to the table, what version I'm using, how strong I put him, and which scaling I'm using for him. But yeah, overall, I'm glad to make this video. It was fun to research, and let's begin. Starting off with Lord Boros. Lord Boros was introduced as a leader of a gang called the Dark Matter, who traverse the universe dominating. And Boros had an issue personally because he couldn't find anyone to match his power. But then he had a prophecy told to him that told him of a character on this planet called Earth that would give him the best fight. That, of course, is Saitama. Now, Boros does have a pretty impressive resume. He was able to traverse the universe for 20 years. Doing so, he was casually destroying planets. And he did this on his way to facing, eventually, Saitama. He wears an armor that actually contains his overwhelming power, so it's pretty fair to assume on his way over and during his conquests, he was in this armor. It seems to be his standard gear, so his planetary power and destruction was coming in the armor, and this armor was shattered by a punch from Saitama. Of course, when the armor was shattered, the true power of Boros was now able to be activated. This is when we see the fired up true form of Boros. And even at this point, like in chapter 34.1, Saitama admits straight up, like, yeah, Unleash Boros is actually pretty strong. And it's hard to impress Saitama. Like, it's not easy at all. This is when we see the, quote, true form of Boros go back and forth with Saitama, take hits from him, and land hits as well. He also reveals he has a massive energy blast that can one-shot compared to his normal AP, although Saitama did withstand this. And in chapter 35, we see that he has the best natural healing in the universe. Essentially, in moments, he can heal limbs and even mortal wounds. He also resets back to prime performance of his limbs and body parts. So basically, he undoes fatigue as well. He also, like, resets to its best performance. So, like, if he loses an arm, when he gets the new arm, it's in its prime. So he also has basically a way to get rid of stuff like fatigue and improve his performance stamina-wise, as well as regular durability. He also has a move called Meteoric Burst, and the transformation is explained as him overcoming his limiters and the limitations as an actual being. He also hit Saitama so fast and so powerfully in this state that Saitama was sent to the moon instantly. This, we also can note, Meteoric Burst is a taxing state, and it does wear him down in terms of stamina to use it. He also withstood when Saitama returned, being punched apart and instantly regened. And while injured and exhausted, he had enough energy to blow away Saitama in the surface of the earth. And Saitama pulls out a finishing move to stop the Roaring Star Cannon. And after this, Boros still survived for a little bit and survived the punch, and although he does die later. And once again, Saitama remarks like, yeah, you were a legit strong opponent, even though Boros said, yo, you weren't using all your power. But now, real quick, before we move on to my guy, I do want to review some of the stuff I found in the guidebook. So, it's established that along his trip as Dominator of the Universe, Boros also destroyed planets and is capable of planet busting. His third form allows him to overcome normal power limits, and his final collapsing star roaring cannon releases enough power to destroy stars. Now, I've seen people protest this and say, oh, it could be a mistranslation, it could just mean planet. His normal state is planetary easily, and this is supposed to be without limiters, like multiple forms later. So it's a little more plausible that it could be star level at that point, but it would be deep into planetary, I guess, if you wanted to assume it was a mistranslation. If you want to be like a jackass, then yeah, sure. But I think personally, it makes more sense that you go from planetary, get way stronger, then break your limiters, get way stronger after that, convert the energy, and then have like a massive final form. That should be above planetary massively at that point. So it'd make more sense that this word did mean star in this instant. And it does match the name of the move. So I do think there's some credence to star level Boros at his absolute peak. And you can also, I guess argue well into planetary, but somewhere between well into planetary star level, that's where Boros should be. And overall, he's a powerful combatant with good regen, AP, and will provide an excellent fight for our next character. Next character, of course, being Might Guy. Who's Might Guy? Well, let me give you some relevant background information. Personally, one of my favorite characters ever in Naruto. Might Guy is a shinobi well known for being basically a god of taijutsu. He was a character that didn't excel in other areas, so he became basically as perfect of a taijutsu or hand-to-hand fighter as he could, and as a result became one of the strongest shinobi on Earth. Now, in base, he was shown capable of knocking back base Kisame with a severe leaf hurricane in part 1. Kakashi implied that Might Guy's sheer training would keep him relative to Kakashi, and if not, just outright stronger. And this is important because this statement occurred when Kakashi's dad was actually observing it. So it was a conversation between Kakashi and Might Guy where he was like, look, Kakashi, I know you got the rank before him, but that boy trains hard, and one day he's probably going to surpass you in power. So even his dad, Kakashi, they agreed. And Kakashi states when he sees like 8th grade Might Guy, he's like, yeah, Dad, you were right. He is blatantly stronger than me. Data Book 3 speaks highly of the lightning quick Guy and states he was more than a match for anyone in the Akatsuki, which is crazy because even the weakest of them can fold Jinchuriki. Now, Guy is incredibly powerful because of the manipulation and opening of the 8 inner gates. This allows for power limits to be broken and for Guy to achieve insane feats that normally ninja can't do physically. Usually, like, his moves are compared to insane ninjutsu because of the sheer power. You're just not supposed to like be able to do that with your own power. At 6th gate, because the other gates don't really matter here, honestly, I'm going to talk about the stronger gates. At 6th gate, Guy demonstrated he could leap across an island casually off the back of a turtle. Guy was also able to defeat a 30% powered water Kisame clone, which was shown to be at least around Bijou levels of power, if not a little better. Kisame is one of the strongest members of the Akatsuki, at least to me. And Morning Peacock in the 6th gate folded 1,000 Shard Jutsu from Kisame, which was very impressive. And 7th gate Guy ended up facing the real Kisame. Here, his attacks are so potent and his raw power so overwhelming, it's mistaked as actual chakra and ninjutsu. 7th gate then attacked, and this attack was even bigger than an island, easily, as he completely brutalized the real version of Kisame. 7th gate Guy easily scaled above full-powered Kisame, and was a hard counter since he didn't rely on chakra and just literally beat the shit out of him with sheer power. 7th gate casually ragdolled a Susanoo of a Madara that scales massively above Bijou. Solo Bijou Blast fodderized multiple mountains for reference. Keep in mind, this Madara scales above Kurama, who, as a powerhouse of a Bijou, is stated capable of turning the surface of the planet to ash. Of course, I will show the scan of it quite actually being stated to be easily having the raw power to burn their world to ash. 8th gate is the final gate we will talk about. This would have killed him had Naruto not revived him. Like, it's a state that's going to cost Guy his life without outside help. But still, if he manages to finish you while in 8th gate, we're going to give him credit for the win. So I'll say if he wins in 8th gate before he dies, I'm going to credit him as the win even though he dies after. So what does he do in the 8th gate? Well, in this form, Madara realized getting hit from 8th gate Guy was rough as hell. This includes even after getting blasted by just the first step. 8th gate had the AP to shatter a truth-seeking orb shield. These shields can casually withstand multiple Bijou bombs, which I already talked about earlier. And in his final attack, the Night Guy, he nearly killed Madara as he bent space, blitzing him. So, that's it for Might Guy. He's a brawler. One of the most skilled taijutsu users ever. In fact, Madara stated, yo, I've never seen someone as skilled and powerful in taijutsu as you. He's a legend in the verse and one of the most likable characters because of his nature. Now, if Might Guy ran into Lord Boros, who would win? So, at first, I thought Might Guy would do nothing in the fight. Before I went into this proposed and won battle, I was like, I don't know if Might can do it. But then I researched Might, realized I was kind of selling him short. I think his AP is sold short in a lot of instances. And I think it can be scaled higher. Like, you can scale it to Planet Plus pretty easily, especially off scaling above Kurama. So when you look at it like that, it changes the conversation. It becomes a little more interesting. I firmly believe Might Guy can break the armor of Boros. But after that, even 8th gate, I don't see beating Unleashed Boros. His regen's great. He's fast. He hits harder. He should hit harder. I mean, in his suppressed state, he's Planet Plus. So that's rough, right? Like, that's rough. Like, we're kind of being generous to Might Guy saying, like, yo, he's just out here brawling Planet Plus pretty easily. But he doesn't even have that long to do that with 8th gate. So I don't see him having enough time, and I don't see him having the AP even if he did have time, to really put down Boros. Now, maybe the conversation changes a little bit if he has unlimited stamina. I'm not sure. Possibly, but as of now, I see Lord Boros taking it. He just has higher scaling and has the AP, especially out of armor, to put down Might Guy. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. If you want to see Boros have a new matchup with a stronger character from Naruto, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm about 200 chapters deep in Bleach at the time of this recording. I should finish that this week. I'm excited to introduce the verse to my channel. It's going to be fun. But yeah, anyways, it's been your boy YFV, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.